afternoon to our esteemed viewers out there. You're welcome once again to Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Cho. Saliku Usman is also on today's edition of the program. Saliku, welcome to Sports Orbit. All right, we'll begin straight from the camp of the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action tonight once again against the Squirrels of Benin Republic in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers, which will take place in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Of course, Nigeria are on the verge of sealing qualification for the 2025 AFCON as they prepare for this crunch encounter, and a win for the Super Eagles will confirm their place at the AFCON tournament, setting the stage for an intense clash. Of course, the match comes up later Nigerian time, 9 p.m. and as it stands, by evening of yesterday, almost all players were already in camp. But of course, some Nigerians and some sports analysts have expressed some concern about the late arrival of players. But of course, you won't blame them because this match is today and they were in action. A lot of them were in action during the weekend. But nevertheless, for me, I feel it's not a do or die affair in this one. I feel the Super Eagles have enough firepower, have what it takes to. I mean, basically, all they need is a draw actually to seal their spot for Morocco 2025.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct, but it's just that sometimes football, that normal say that it's not 1+1 that will give you 2 when you come to the round of that game. But if not, if basing on the current fact and the statistics before us, and based on the performance of the Eagles players, particularly just like you mentioned, most of them play at the weekend, and if you look at their performance at the weekend, all of them were in a blizzard form. Helping their club to win their matches respectively. Almost all the Eagles players put a brilliant performance at the weekend. And coming from that, I think Eagles is in a better position, not to expect any trouble at all from the Benin Republic. And if you look at the card of the Benin Republic at the moment, they are in disarray. Most of the key players are missing out for the encounter. We don't even pray for Benin Republic to lose any of their star before meeting this, but all of them want them to be in the full strength to feel the Super Eagles, unless they have their strength and meeting each other. But just like you say, we don't have much trouble going into this game. All we need is just a point. But I think the Eagles look at the way they are talking and they are saying they are all going for the 3 point, and I wish I 100% agree with them. 3 point is very vital. There is no any need to do anybody favor in this context because a draw will favor Benin Republic, because that will keep them in a position to push for the second ticket of the group. Eagles already clicking the first ticket, so the second ticket is between Benin Republic and Rwanda. Benin Republic only have 6 points, while Rwanda have 5 points. So Benin Republic will be praying that they get a draw against Eagles to put them in a better position. And if they get a win, God forbid, that will grant their chance of taking the ticket. But I hope that the Eagles don't have much forward, and we believe that 3 points or either 3 points or 1 point that will be required to get us to the next round, to get us to the AFCON will be cleared at this competition. We don't need to wait for the last match against Rwanda. That can be played as a formality.
Of course. Also, I think Libya should be in action. If I'm not mistaken.
Libya will be action against Rwanda. And it's going to be another. I think they are traveling to the Rwanda.
Yeah, traveling to Rwanda.
They are traveling to Rwanda. And I think
in fact, they landed in Rwanda. I think about 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, they can land in another person's country, having the time to move around. But another person cannot be landing in their own country and having all the need to stabilize to play the match. So, but I think it's good the way CAF come down heavily against Libya, and I believe that will serve as a deterrent for any other person in this country, any other person in this continent that may have that kind of idea. Football is not about. If you all you want to play, go is in the level versus level. Even though you wanted to frustrate your opponent, yes, sometimes we'll see, but not to their length and the Libya way.
Exactly. Of course, away from that, now see some other news by Super Eagles captain Truls Ekong has revealed why he decided to represent Nigeria over the Netherlands, where he was actually born. Of course, he said a call from then Super Eagles coach David Keshi was one of the reasons that swayed his decisions. Don't forget that he had represented England at both under 18 and under 21, and he said that international level, after speaking with Keshi and seeing a lot of some foreign-born Nigerian players beginning to represent the team, he felt it was high time he chose Nigeria over the Netherlands, which, in opinion, has turned out to be a very good decision. Apart from, whichever way you like it, in the last couple of years, he has been one of our most, standout players. Even at the AFCON, he became, the defender to score the most goals in an AFCON. So far, I'm sure he has no regrets at all choosing Nigeria.
Yeah, he has no regret, and at the same time, Nigeria too has no regret in accepting him to play for Nigeria. Yeah, just like you say, you think it's a win-win for all. Yeah. He benefit, Nigeria also benefit from his impact. And unfortunately, Casey, who is blessed, he's coming. I don't think he never played other than Casey.
No,
he was instrumental to our bronze medal winning at the Rio Olympic. Like Mikel Ubi, he stood out in that particular competition, and that is where he actually makes his impact. And then, just like since he came into the Super Eagles, he had been very instrumental. There was even time that him and Leon Balogun what was that Uibo War? You remember that Uibo War? But unfortunately, Leon Balogun couldn't last, and since they have been very instrumental, they become. It's not easy for you coming from outside. I saw that word carefully outside because he was not born
properly integrate.
He was not born in Nigeria. He fits into it and become a captain of the national team.
Exactly.
To me, it's very good, and no Nigerian. I started with all forces that no Nigerian can question his impact in the national team
at all. And the good thing about him, just like some months ago when Mikel had talked about some Nigerian players who will have to wait
to the
last minute or have to be begged, or some will see that once they don't have any opportunity to play for whichever country, that's when they start rushing. But likes of Truth Ekon, nobody had to beg him. In fact, in his conversation, he didn't say whether to be catchy. It was a conversation. He felt, come on, look, this is a young team, a brimming team. Let me be a part of it. But, but some players will have to, some you even beg them, they will turn you down. I remember the case of Shola Amobi and so many of them. Some will have to wait for you to beg them when they see that their prospect of not. And what the English guys do is they might just give you one cap in one friendly game or one qualifier, and after that your chances are over. Look at the case of Tammy Abraham, for instance.
Yes.
Exactly. Fantastic player. Who hears of Tammy Abraham again?
No.
Completely.
But by now, maybe you have been the like of Bitosime in the national team, or even completely Bitosime.
When you look at the likes of Lukman, Olaina, Calvin Bassey, these are all foreign. But I can't remember a situation where they had to go and be begged to come and play for Nigeria, or who tried to play for England by force. But these guys felt that, look, whichever way it is, Nigeria is the motherland. This is our roots. So
I think in the case of Ola Aina, if my memory does not fail me, I can remember that. Then the then president of Nigeria Football Federation, Ola Aina, they were both at himself then. Ola Aina, Tammy Abraham, and then Tamori, the one that later went to AC Milan. So there were when there was even a photo when the then president of Nigeria for the Phoenix, he's a blockbuster of the foreign based player, where he take a picture. But in all of them, it's online that decided to do, I'm going back to Nigeria.
Exactly.
And if you look at them in terms of their career wise, international career, it's online that have stood out. Tamori only get first match. And that was it. The same thing to Tammy Abraham. And as it is now, except in another England or in another world, I don't think with the current squad of the England, I don't see Tammy Abraham or Tamori coming back to the national team. They have completely robbed themselves. And just like there's another, if you remember, there was no call everything separately. He refused. But England only give you one cap. And that was the end of it. And like Shola Amobi, like he only was even lucky. Well, I was
the World Cup.
He went there playing the World Cup with Nigeria. Mistake World Cup because he was not qualified to be in the Nigeria team to that World Cup.
In fact, many Nigerians were upset of how he even got into that team.
Yes, everybody was totally upset because after begging at his peak, he refused. But I think what Moses saying, Mikel saying, that is right. There's no Nigeria is very big. We don't need any to beg anybody to come and play. And if you want to play for Nigeria, take your decisions at the right time, not after you have failed out. We now see Nigeria as a second option. Nigeria is not a second option. When this is one of the comment that have stood making out. Nigeria is never a second option. And if you look at most of the players who are taking their decision to play for Nigeria at the right pick, I don't think any of them have regretted taking that decision. The lives of Victor Moses, we can see it.
Won the AFCON.
One AFCON. Yeah. Online, you mentioned today we are talking of Ademola Lookman becoming, except God say no. Exactly. There is no anybody that can stop online and becoming the next African player of the year. If you look at all the statistics, everything, and his current, if you even watch him at the weekend, it's just unfortunate that he missed that goal. If not, he would have been one of the best goals. One of the best goals. So, except God say, well, there's nobody stopping him becoming an African footballer. Can he ever dream of becoming a world?
Exactly.
So, play for Nigeria. Nigeria is not a small team. If you are playing for Nigeria, there are many opportunities, many windows are open for you.
All right, to some other news now where, well, it's been revealed that Newcastle are in the race and looking at signing Osimhen in the summer. They are now joining the race in
January?
No, in the summer actually, because from the way I think it's a season-long loan. So, but Newcastle are already eyeing him. But there are some reports I saw earlier on today which, you know, these things keep changing. We're hearing of Arsenal trying to come up, but we don't know which is which. Well, for top players, when your future is uncertain, we keep hearing this kind of stories from coming out from clubs.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, except until the final day. If you want to know that you are in the market, this kind of story keep on springing up. This one, today you heard this, today you heard this, today you heard this, until anybody rightly come out and ask for the price and submit the bid or pay for the price. But the way Osimhen is at the moment, we thank God that his move to Galatasaray was not just if you can begin to show
in fine form,
in a fine form, delivering from everyone, and everybody is a most talked about player at the moment because of fine form, and that at the time the price dropped, that also rise his price again, and we believe that if he maintain this momentum going forward, you will not find difficult find the bigger team. I'm not disrespecting Newcastle. But the way Osimhen is, I don't see Osimhen supposed to be a crowd of Newcastle in terms of permanent deal.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
Masu kallon mu kar a manta kuna tare ne da shirin Leadership Hausa na barka da hantsi.
All right, welcome back from that break. Down to some NPFL news where the management of Nasarawa United has given coach Kabiru Dogo a 3-match ultimatum to turn things around or face the exit door. The Solid Miners have lost their last 2 games and are currently in the drop zone. The goal's fate will be determined by the next 3 fixtures against Aqua United, Plateau United and Bendel Insurance. According to the management said, we are not satisfied with where things are going, and as a management, we can't fold our arms and watch the team slide down the murky road. So for Coach Dogo, I mean, not expected. I mean, this is how football is. As long as results are not going your way, they show you to the exit door and get someone else who can get the job done.
The coach always fall a victim of everybody's problem.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when I heard say this match not giving to the coach, football has go beyond the coach alone to get the business done. The management have their role, the player has their role, everybody involved have their role, even the fans have their role. So it's a collective effort to give a victory. So when we are giving a coach a match, that if you are not getting this road, this way will be fine. It's not. It's good to tell him that, to remind him that we need to move forward. But it's also good that while we are commanding him, telling him, giving the machine order, it's also check yourself. Is there anything that you need to do that you have not done proper as a management? Look at the fan. Is the fan supporting the team? That's another thing. And then look at every other person that are involved. I mean, even the player can frustrate you, fans can frustrate you, anybody can frustrate you. So I think it's a collective effort, and it's good that the management should also take note of their own laps. There's no how they have their own lapses. In as much, I'm not speaking for the don't go, but it's good that it's all that. Although that's the tradition everywhere. Once you are not doing well, they could get fired. And there's no excuse. But looking at the match order and look at the match, the 3 match before him. Qualifier United, Benin Insurance, Plateau United. These are not small teams, and if he must get over this, except he need the God assist, and I will play that God, the Lord will be his strength.
All right, still on the MPFL, we'll look at some fixtures going down this weekend. That will be matched with 12 fixtures in the NPFL. Of course, it will begin with El Kanemi Warriors, who will be hosting Niger Tornadoes, and of course that Oriental Derby between Abia Warriors and Enyimba, that will be one to look out for. Aqua United versus Nasra United, Katsina United, all the way to Bayelsa United in that one. Ikorodu City will host Shooting Stars in the Southwest Derby. Then Kano Pillars versus Heartland, Kwara versus Plateau United. Then Enugu Rangers versus Bendel Insurance should be an interesting one. Remo Stars will host Rivers United, while Sunshine Stars will be up against Lobby Stars in that one.
Yeah, well, I pity Niger Tornado that are traveling to Meduguri after Meduguri, so the Meduguri-based club, the Warriors suffered their first defeat at the weekend in the hands of Shooting Star. Shooting Star. They said 2-0 against the defeat now, and I think to me they show the Tornadoes are coming at the very wrong, going to Meduguri at the very wrong time, and I hope that the Warriors will be able to bounce back to the winning or probably remain to their normal thing. And another interesting game then, Aqua United, that is the game that the others are giving already. Imagine that it must be, and unfortunately it's traveling all the far away to Akwa Ibom. So, well, I'm not heavy doom at all, but I hope that God will help you probably get a draw, so that at least you have a hope of retaining his job. And for Ikorodu City, who are bouncing back to a winning way, they won their last 2 games, and now they are coming back in the Southwest. That both of them are coming on a very high motivated mood, winning their 2 last matches. So it's going to be an interesting time. And if you're in Lagos, the place to be is at the Lagos Islamic Stadium to see where those 2 battle. And another thing, Kano Pillars are coming back to Kano. To Chanabasha Stadium this weekend, and the first visitor is Heartland, coached by Emmanuel Amunike. So all eyes will definitely be in Kano to see how the fans will receive Kano Pillar back home, and ultimately, and it will be nice. Heartland have wake up from their slumber and they are beginning to get the result both home and away. But I doubt if they'll be able to get the result in Kano Pillar. Most importantly, that they are going to have full strength. The home they normally target, same as Ugida. They must not lose at home. But Heartland is managed by a very tactically sound coach. So it's going to be an interesting game for if you are within the Kano walk, and anyway the place to be is Chanabasha Stadium.
All right, other news now, where of course South African FA President Danny Jordan yesterday was arrested and is being arraigned for fraud. The arrest comes after a police raid on the SAFA's offices in March, which revealed claims that between 2014 and 2015, Jordan used the association's resources for his personal purpose. Well, apparently, this thing doesn't happen. Generally, in the last couple of years, football generally, even at FIFA level, at different confederations level, there have been that. But that goes to tell you how much money goes on around football. Don't forget that even I think just last year, I think the Caribbean Football Association too had to suspend Jack Warner and all of that for financial, recklessness. We remember what happened to Sepp Blatter and so many of our Michel Platini. So, these things happen all across in Nigeria. We've had incidences of, hundreds of thousands of dollars missing in the glass house some years ago. So looks like there's so much money in football that goes around that once somehow FA bosses all over get involved in financial scandals.
Free money is in football.
Yeah.
And there's big money in football. Why people are scrambling and killing themselves to become the head of the next group? A board member. If you're a board member of Nigeria football, you know how much will come to your pocket. Even your sitting allowance or travel allowance. When you travel for an official assignment, either for a match or even for a congress, either you are being paid by CAF or you are being paid by FIFA, like you are paying hard currency, not Nigeria currency. You know how much it means come to your pocket. And then for a country like South Africa, sponsorship wise, grant from FIFA, grant from CAF, sponsorship wise, there's a whole lot of money in football. And I pity Jordan. You know, it becomes
especially the work he did in
it becomes prominent.
Exactly,
South Africa 2010, when he was one of the local organizing committee, and he did very brilliantly, and that is where his name became prominent. There was a time he was even trying to become a CAF president. He wanted to become president. But see, ever since they had become the FA president, so his interest in football become best friend. And he was wanting idea to become president, but unfortunately he couldn't succeed. He was trying to fight the former president Ahmad. So he didn't succeed. The lack of kill behind Ahmad was able to do, and the same thing they go behind again to bring Masepi from his own South Africa, and that's dwarf his ambition to come to succeed. To succeed Ahmad. But now with this arrest now, to me, everything all he stood for has crumbled in that game. When the corruption allegation is laid against you, whatever you stand for has completely going down. For a decent country like South Africa, obviously, but he's still innocent until he's proved otherwise, and we believe that he'll be able to prove himself. But unfortunately, this kind of thing hardly happens on the side of the country. When we are being accused of using a public fund for a personal. But we have many of them here in Nigeria using public fund for personal issue.
Nothing happened. All right, to some EPL news now, where Liverpool striker Mo Salah believes that the Reds have what it takes to win this season's EPL title. Salah stated this in a chat with the club's in-house media about his team's ambitions. According to him, yes, they are just 5 points over City, but he feels that Liverpool has what it takes to win the EPL. Still a long way to go, about 28 to 27 matches to go, still a whole lot. So much can happen in the course of the league. So for me, it's still too early to start predicting title holders. For me, most of the times, maybe by the time we get to have it, but sometimes you can't even predict. We've seen cases where it's 5-7 matches to go, and exactly, and someone comes from behind and just topples you. So it's not yet time to start.
It's not yet time to be sure.
Exactly.
Just like you say, even 3 matches we have seen even on the last day of the game.
Of course.
You remember the famous the Liverpool Chelsea when Steven Gerrard made an opportunity, and that's ended their dream of becoming champion. So even at the last day of the game, anything can change. But if you are on top of the league, there's always tendency on you that to be a better vision and hope that you can win. And based on the way they are playing at the moment, so nobody, if you say we have what it takes to win, nobody will doubt that. And for him, telling Liverpool that they are underdog is not for him. It doesn't exist. So that we know, just like you say, yes, they are enjoying. They are in a closer form, performing well more than any other club. While other clubs are struggling, they are taking their points in and they are extending their lead. Apart from even the Man City that is got behind them, 5 points. Others, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, they are all almost 9 points behind them. So they have a wide gap they can play with. But just like you say, you remind them, it is too early to begin to assume that you can win the league. We will begin to see, in as much as you can't actually predict, we begin to see the color of the league, who is likely going to be within the top 3 squads when we enter January.
Definitely. All right, to our final story before we leave, where England captain Harry Kane has hit out at and expressed unhappiness over the number of withdrawals from the England squad. Recall that during the weeks over about 9 players who were called up for the UEFA Nations League encounters decided to opt out of the game, a whole lot of them. And for Harry Kane, He said it's not the way to go. The light of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Ramsdale, Lego Kohli, all opted out of the games. And for Harry Kane, he was not happy at all, because for him, he said, look, for the joy of any professional footballer is to represent your country. But if he gets into a position where players are now beginning to opt out of games, for him, he has really expressed disappointment and unhappiness at it.
Yeah, I agree with him. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes players, when you are not being given a call up here, you do all you can. You pray fervently. Even if you are a Christian or whatever, you even fast, whatever, play fervently. Find yourself in the national team, you begin to play without opportunity. Opportunities that millions of people are looking for. And yes, injuries come sometimes, and most of those players you mentioned.
And key players, these are all key players.
They are all key players for England, and most of them, with the exception of the Rise, all of them play at the weekend for their club. Most of them play at the weekend for their club. So why are you now? But even though you are injured, I think it's only in Africa. So sometimes I think it's only in Nigeria that it happens when players begin to choose club ahead of country. I never think that England can also do the same. And that's why the same thing that is even happening to Papi. Choosing the club ahead of the country, and you begin to see what he's going through at the Real Madrid. Sometimes, yes, people can not come see you, but they can backfire on you. When you have opportunity to represent your country and begin to look and see your club more important than your country, God has a way of paying you back.
Alright, that's a package on today's edition of Sports Orbit. Don't forget, Super Eagles will be in action 8 p.m. Nigeria.